What if I told you that some of the most powerful families in America aren't the names you always see in the headlines? They don't run for office, and they aren't on magazine covers. Still, they quietly shape the skylines of our cities, the technology in our hands, and even the food we eat. They're the architects of empires built in silicon and steel, in code and in kitchens, often starting from nothing, armed only with relentless ambition and a unique understanding of the world's two largest economies. They built fortunes. These are the 10 richest Chinese families in the United States, and today we're unlocking the secrets behind their billion-dollar empires. Prepare to see the American dream through a completely different lens. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a family represented by one of the most powerful women in global technology, the Su family, led by the incredible Lisa Su. While her estimated family net worth, centered around her fortune of roughly $1.3 billion, might not be the absolute highest on this list, her story is all about one of the most amazing corporate turnarounds in recent history. Lisa Su was born in Tainan, Taiwan, and immigrated to the United States as a young child. Her journey is a testament to the immigrant drive for excellence, fueled by a deep passion for science. She earned her bachelor's, master's, and PhD in electrical engineering from MIT, a breeding ground for some of the world's sharpest minds. Her early career saw her in key roles at Texas Instruments, IBM, and Freescale Semiconductor, where she consistently proved she could lead complex projects. But her climb to tech legend status truly began in 2014, when she took the helm as CEO of Advanced Micro Devices, or AMD. At the time, AMD was on the brink of collapse. Its stock was trading for just a few dollars a share, and it was being crushed by its rivals, Intel and Nvidia. The company was bleeding money, and many analysts had already written it off. Taking the CEO job looked like accepting a poisoned chalice. What Lisa Su did next is the stuff of business school legend. Instead of tiny, safe changes, she made a series of massive high-stakes bets. She focused the company's limited resources on developing high-performance computing, targeting the lucrative gaming and data center markets. She championed the Zen microarchitecture, a long-shot project that Su believed could leapfrog the competition. Her vision was clear. AMD wouldn't just compete, it would lead, and boy, did that gamble pay off. The release of Ryzen processors and EPYC server chips sent shockwaves through the industry. AMD, once the underdog, was suddenly beating its rivals on performance and price. Under her leadership, AMD's stock price surged, transforming it from a near-bankrupt firm into a titan worth over $275 billion. Her success has not only created immense wealth for her family, but has also made her a role model for women in STEM everywhere. And in a fascinating twist, Lisa Su is reportedly a distant cousin of Jensen Huang, the CEO of rival company Nvidia, who we'll be hearing about later. It seems a genius for semiconductors runs in the family. At number 9, we find a story that perfectly captures the modern flow of global wealth, where a fortune made in China's digital revolution is now shaping America's physical and intellectual landscape. This is the story of the Chen family, led by the visionary and often private billionaire Chen Tianchi. With an estimated family net worth of about $1.1 billion, the Chuns represent a new kind of power player. Chen Tianchao is a name that commands huge respect in the Chinese tech world. In 1999, at the dawn of the Internet age, he, his wife Chrissy Luo, and his brother founded Shanda Interactive Entertainment. Chen had a revolutionary idea: online gaming. He acquired the rights to the South Korean game, The Legend of Mir 2, and pioneered the freemium model. The game was free, but users paid for in-game items. This model is everywhere today, but back then, it was groundbreaking. The success was explosive. Shanda became a cultural phenomenon in China, and by 2004, it listed on the Nasdaq in the United States, making Chen a billionaire practically overnight. Then, after a decade of incredible success, Chen made a shocking move. Citing health issues, he took Shanda private in 2012 and pivoted from operator to investor. He relocated his family and headquarters, eventually landing in Newport Beach, California. This is where his American story truly begins. Instead of buying flashy startups, Chen started buying land. A lot of it, he quietly purchased nearly 200,000 acres of timberland in Oregon, a move that instantly made him one of the largest foreign owners of U.S. land. But his ambition didn't stop there. Having conquered virtual worlds, he turned his focus to the human brain. In 2016, he and his wife donated a staggering $115 million to Caltech to establish the Tianqiu and Chrissy Chen Institute for Neuroscience. It was a deeply personal mission to unlock the secrets of how the brain works. The Chen family's story is a powerful example of wealth that knows no borders. A digital empire built in the East, now quietly and profoundly shaping America's landscape and the future of science. Coming in at number 8 is a family that feels like old money, but with a modern global twist. The Chen family, led by brothers Ronnie and Gerald Chen, while their dynastic fortune was built on the concrete and steel of Hong Kong's skyline, their influence in America has been grown more quietly through smart investments and massive philanthropy. Their combined family fortune is estimated to be around $2 billion. The story starts with their father, Chan Zhengxi, who founded the Hang Lung Group in Hong Kong in 1960 and built a real estate empire. But instead of keeping his sons in the family business, he sent them to America for their education. Both brothers studied in the US, with Gerald earning multiple degrees from Harvard. This experience was transformative. In 1986, they co-founded Morningside Group in the United States, a private equity and venture capital firm designed to fund the next generation of innovators. This East-West structure was their secret to success. Ronnie Chan took over the family's Hang Lung Group, expanding its real estate empire deep into mainland China. Meanwhile, Gerald Chan, based in Massachusetts, ran Morningside, investing in cutting-edge industries, especially biotechnology. He quietly became a major figure in the Boston biotech scene, funding breakthroughs in medicine while also acquiring valuable properties in Harvard Square. In 2014, the family cemented their legacy in America forever. Through their family foundation, the brothers pledged an astounding $350 million to Harvard University, which was the largest donation in the school's history at the time. In recognition, the university renamed its public health school the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, in honor of their late father. The Chan family represents a fascinating duality. They are a Chinese real estate dynasty and an American venture capital powerhouse, building skyscrapers in Asia while funding microscopic discoveries in Boston labs. At number 7, we have a true pioneer of the digital age, a name synonymous with the birth of the modern internet. This is the family of Jerry Yang, the co-founder of Yahoo, with a family fortune estimated at around $3 billion. His story is a foundational chapter of Silicon Valley history. Born in Taipei, Taiwan, Jerry Yang moved to San Jose, California at age 10. Speaking only one word of English, Shu, his adaptation was incredible. He excelled in school and landed at Stanford University. It was there, while working on his PhD, that he and a fellow student, David Philo, started a project that would change everything. In the early 90s, the World Wide Web was a chaotic mess. Yang and Philo started a simple, curated list of their favorite websites, initially called Jerry and David's Guide to the World Wide Web. It was just a hobby, but it exploded in popularity. The traffic became so overwhelming that Stanford kicked their project off the university's network. Realizing they were onto something huge, they dropped out of their PhD program, got venture capital, and in 1995, officially incorporated their guide as Yahoo. It wasn't a search engine like Google. It was a human-edited directory, the first front door to the web for millions of people. As chief Yahoo, Yang led the company's dizzying growth. Yahoo went public in 1996, making Yang a billionaire before he turned 30. For a while, it was the undisputed king of the internet. As Yang himself once said, "When we were building the company and the internet was being built, there was no playbook. It was literally the Wild West." while the Yahoo story includes some famous missed opportunities, like the chance to buy a little company called Google. Jerry Yang's legacy as a visionary is secure. After leaving Yahoo, he founded AIM Cloud Ventures, where he invests in the next generation of tech startups. He's also a major philanthropist. In 2017, he and his wife, Akiko Yamazaki, donated $25 million to San Francisco's Asian Art Museum, the largest gift in its history. The Yang family's wealth was forged in the fire of the first dot-com boom, a powerful reminder of how one simple idea can completely redefine the world. Moving on to number 6, we have a family that built their billion-dollar empire, not with code or microchips, but with wax and sweet and sour sauce. They are the Chang family, the founders of Panda Express, and their story is one of the most delicious tales of the American dream. Andrew and Peggy Chang, a husband and wife team, have a combined net worth of approximately $3.6 billion, making them the quiet royals of American fast food. Their journey started on opposite sides of the globe. Andrew Chang, the son of a master chef, immigrated to the US from China in 1966. Peggy Chang, born in Burma and raised in Hong Kong, also moved to the US for college. The two met at Baker University, Kansas. Their academic paths, however, were far from the restaurant business. Andrew earned a master's in applied mathematics, while Peggy got a PhD in electrical engineering, even designing battlefield simulators for the US Navy. In 1973, Andrew and his father opened the first Panda in a sit-down Chinese restaurant in Pasadena, California. The big break came a decade later when a mall developer, impressed after a meal, encouraged Andrew to open a fast food version in his food court. The first Panda Express was born in 1983. That's when Peggy made a pivotal decision. She left her engineering career to join her husband, bringing her formidable analytical skills to the business. This fusion of Andrew's restaurant know-how and Peggy's systems thinking was the secret ingredient. Peggy developed the company's tech systems from the ground up, using data to track inventory and sales to ensure consistency and efficiency, a move way ahead of its time. Their strategy was patient and deliberate. Instead of franchising, they chose to own most of their stores to maintain strict quality control. They targeted high-traffic spots like airports and universities, introducing their American Chinese cuisine to a huge audience. They even invented orange chicken, now a staple of American comfort food. Today, Panda Restaurant Group operates over 2,500 locations, with Andrew and Peggy still serving as co-CEOs. They've also become major philanthropists through their Panda Cares Foundation. The Chung family proves you don't need to be in Silicon Valley to build a billion-dollar empire. Sometimes, all it takes is a brilliant mind, a loving partner, and a really, really good recipe. We're halfway through our countdown, and the stories are already incredible. From tech turnarounds to fast food dynasties, the paths to wealth are truly diverse. It makes you wonder, which of these industries do you think holds the most opportunity for building a fortune today? Is it still tech, or is it something more traditional? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. Now, let's get back to the countdown. Cracking the top 5 is a family whose name literally became a verb during one of the most disruptive times in modern history. We are talking, of course, about the Yuan family, led by Eric Yuan, the founder and CEO of Zoom. With a family fortune estimated to be over $4.6 billion. His story is a modern epic of perseverance, vision, and being in the right place at exactly the right time. Eric Yuan's journey was anything but easy. Born in China, he dreamed of moving to Silicon Valley during the 90s tech boom. The problem? His US visa application was rejected 8 times. Most people would have quit. Eric Yuan applied a 9th time and finally got through. He landed a job in 1997 as one of the first engineers at WebEx, a pioneering web conferencing startup. When Cisco acquired WebEx, he rose to become a vice president, but he was unhappy. He saw that customers were frustrated with the clunky and unreliable service. He begged Cisco to let him rebuild the platform from the ground up. They said no. So, in 2011, Eric Yuan did what Silicon Valley legends do. He quit. He took 40 trusted engineers with him and set out to build the video tool he knew the world needed, which he eventually named Zoom. His vision was simple: create a platform that just works. For years, Zoom grew steadily, building a loyal base of business customers. Yuan became a billionaire when the company went public in 2019, and then 2020 happened. The pandemic forced the world into lockdown, and suddenly video communication was an essential service. Zoom was perfectly positioned. Its usage exploded from 10 million daily meeting participants to over 300 million in just a few months. Eric Yuan's face, often seen in his own Zoom window, became a symbol of our new remote reality. His net worth skyrocketed, making him one of the wealthiest people in the world almost overnight. Eric Yuan's story is the ultimate testament to perseverance. A man who refused to take no for an answer, whether from the visa office or his corporate bosses. At number 4 is a family whose influence sits at the fascinating crossroads of Chinese e-commerce, American finance, and global sports. This is the family of Joseph Tsai, the co-founder and chairman of Alibaba Group. While his immense fortune came from a Chinese tech giant, his passions and investments have made him a highly visible figure in the United States. With a family net worth estimated at around $8.5 billion, his story is about being the indispensable man behind a legend. Joseph Tsai was born in Taiwan to a prominent family of lawyers, and was sent to the US for high school before earning both an undergraduate and a law degree from Yale. He was already a private equity executive in Hong Kong when, in 1999, he met a charismatic former English teacher named Jack Ma. Ma had a wild vision for an online marketplace called Alibaba, but he had zero experience with Western finance or corporate law. Tsai was captivated. In a move his wife called crazy, he gave up his high-paying job to join Ma's tiny startup for a salary of just $50 a month. He became the 18th co-founder of Alibaba, and it was the best decision of his life. While Jack Ma was the visionary, Joe Tsai was the architect. He single-handedly built Alibaba's entire legal and financial structure. He was the bridge between Ma's chaotic genius and the world of global capital, securing crucial investments from Goldman Sachs and SoftBank. He steered the company through its record-shattering $25 billion IPO on the New York Stock Exchange in 2014, the largest in history at the time. Today, he is the chairman of the entire Alibaba Group. While Tsai is a Canadian citizen with a residence in Hong Kong, his presence in the US is monumental. A lifelong sports fan, he bought a stake in the NBA's Brooklyn Nets in 2017, acquiring full ownership of the team and the Barclays Center 2 years later. He also owns the WNBA's New York Liberty and professional lacrosse teams. He and his wife, Clara Wu Tsai, are also massive philanthropists, committing tens of millions to social justice initiatives and medical relief efforts. Joe Tsai helped build one of China's greatest corporate treasures, and then used that wealth to buy a piece of America's cultural fabric, becoming a powerful force in his own right. For our number 3 spot, we have a story of 2 families, 2 partners, and one shared vision that created a hidden giant in the tech world. They are the Tu and Sun families, led by John Tu and David Sun, the co-founders of Kingston Technology, with a combined family fortune of a staggering $23 billion. This is a story of losing everything and then coming back to build something even greater. John Tu, born in China, and David Sun, born in Taiwan, met in a US basketball league in the late 70s. They became fast friends with a shared entrepreneurial spirit. In 1982, working out of Sun's garage, they started their first company making memory upgrades for computers, which they later sold for a cool $6 million. They were instant millionaires. Feeling invincible, they invested their profits in the stock market, and then came Black Monday, October 19, 1987. The market crashed, and in a single day they lost everything. Lesser partners would have blamed each other, but Tu and Sun's bond was stronger. With what little they had left, they went back to what they knew best, computer memory. From the ashes of their financial ruin, they founded a new company in their garage, naming it Kingston. Their chips are in everything from laptops and servers to the USB drive in your pocket. It says about sticking together after a devastating loss and having the courage to build it all back bigger than before. At number 2, we honor a true giant, a trailblazer, whose success paved the way for many other tech entrepreneurs on this list. We are talking about the late, great Charles Wang and the powerful legacy his family continues. At his peak, Charles Wang was a pioneering billionaire, but his impact on the American tech landscape is truly immeasurable. Charles Wang's story is the quintessential 20th century immigrant saga. He was born in Shanghai in 1944 and moved to Queens, New York, with his family when he was 8. He excelled in his studies, earning a degree in mathematics from Queens College. In 1976, with the tech industry in its infancy, a 31-year-old Wang and 2 partners took a leap of faith. With money scraped together from credit cards, they launched a software company called Computer Associates International, later CA Technologies. Their focus was on the unglamorous but essential software for mainframe computers that powered the world's biggest corporations. While Steve Jobs and Bill Gates focused on personal computers, Charles Wang built an empire in the corporate back office. He was a brilliant and ruthless businessman, famous for his aggressive takeovers of competing software firms. He would buy a company, absorb its technology, and slash costs, a controversial but undeniably effective strategy. He grew Computer Associates from a tiny startup into one of the largest independent software vendors in the world, proving that a Chinese-American immigrant could dominate at the highest levels of corporate America. But there was another side to Charles Wang. Having achieved immense success, he became a passionate philanthropist. He famously said, "Giving back to America shouldn't only have a Rockefeller, a Ford, or a Gates name tag attached to it." And he lived by those words. His foundation made enormous contributions, including a $52 million donation to Stony Brook University. He also co-founded Smile Train, a global charity that has provided free cleft palate surgery to over 1 million children. A passionate sports fan, he bought the struggling New York Islanders hockey team in 2000, saving the franchise from relocation. Charles Wang passed away in 2018, but his family's legacy, built on software, business savvy, and a profound sense of giving back, remains a towering monument in the story of Chinese-American achievement. And now, the number 1 richest Chinese family in the United States. A family whose fortune has exploded, placing them not just at the top of this list, but among the wealthiest people on the planet. This is the family of Jensen Huang, the co-founder and CEO of NVIDIA. With a staggering family net worth, now estimated as high as $164 billion, his story is the explosive climax of technology, vision, and the dawn of the age of artificial intelligence. Jensen Huang was born in Tiananmen, Taiwan in 1963. His family sent a 9-year-old Jensen and his brother to live with relatives in the US. His early years were challenging, but the hardships forged a resilience he would later call his street fighter mentality. After getting his master's from Stanford, Huang and 2 friends met at a Denny's diner in 1993, a now legendary meeting. They believed that a new kind of chip dedicated to graphics would be essential for the burgeoning video game market. With just $40,000, they founded NVIDIA. The early years were tough, and the company nearly went bankrupt multiple times. But Huang bet everything on the graphics processing unit, or GPU, NVIDIAS. GPUs revolutionized the gaming industry, enabling the realistic 3D graphics we take for granted today. For years, NVIDIA was a company for gamers, and Jensen, with his signature black leather jacket, became a rock star in that community. But Huang had a secret. He knew the architecture of their GPUs, designed to perform thousands of simple calculations at once, was perfect for more than just games. In the mid-2000s, he made a pivotal decision to open up NVIDIA's GPU architecture to developers, creating a platform called CUDA. AI researchers discovered that NVIDIA's GPUs were exponentially faster at training neural networks than traditional CPUs. This discovery lit the fuse on the AI explosion. As the AI boom intensified, demand for NVIDIA's chips became insatiable. Jensen Huang's personal fortune, tied to his stake in the company, has skyrocketed, making him one of the richest people alive. A story of seeing a future no one else could, and building the very tools that are now helping humanity solve its most important problems. From the engineer who saved a chip company, from the brink to the visionary who built the engine of the AI revolution, the stories of these 10 families paint a vivid picture of ambition and success. A few powerful themes emerged today. We saw the power of the immigrant story, of individuals who came to America with little but an education and an unshakable work ethic. We witnessed the East-West dynamic, fortunes built in China reinvested in America, and American-educated minds transforming industries back in Asia. We saw the contrast between old money built on assets like real estate and new money forged in the digital fires of the internet and AI. Above all, we saw that incredible wealth is often created by those who see the world differently, the ones who bet on a new business model for gaming, who believed in a better